Oh my god. So, so I finally saw, what movie am I fucking talking about? God. Oh god, what is it called? Oh yeah, the Cloverfield Paradox. Finally got a chance to sit down and watch it since I've been feeling kind of under the weather and had to call out for the first time in 2 years. Yeah, so I finally saw it, and I really don't know how to feel about it because I don't know, like I didn't know there was like another one coming out. Yeah, so I didn't know another one was coming out, and then Super Bowl Sunday it suddenly came out. Like, trailer wise, I remember seeing it being like, oh, that looks cool. Wait, are they redoing Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? Oh my god. No. Netflix, stop it. No, stop it. So, yeah. The trailer looked cool, and then for, how long has it been out? Like, almost, like, 10 days. So it's been out, like, a little bit, like, well over a week. Which, for me, to get to Netflixing after being out for a week is pretty fast. Um, but yeah, I definitely got to it. I definitely, wanted to do a review of it. Well, because I did a review of all the other two movies. Um, and also I kept hearing so much, like, negative, reviews for this one. And I kind of understand why, because, you know, like, watching it, mind you, in general, as a movie, it's not bad. But to be like a Cloverfield, like a third installment of Cloverfield, I feel it's a bit reaching, I do feel like, always sirens. I do feel like it's more of an in-name only kind of sequel. There are, like, some, like, small things that make you go, oh, this is Cloverfield. Like, one, the spaceship is called Cloverfield, and two, what's his name? God, he doesn't have, like, a normal name, but he's on, like, Gotham and all that shit. That guy. He's in, like, a really quick, brief, like, news video thing in while they're on the ship, and, like, his character's last name shares the same last name as John Goodman's last name. I only realized this because I looked it up on IMDb. Even then, it's just like, oh, cool, okay, he's also in this movie, and he's sprouting out crazy stuff. Oh, it's a Cloverfield movie. People sprout out crazy things. Okay, fine. Like I said, it's not, like, if I didn't know this was a Cloverfield movie, and I would have just watched it as is, it's not a bad movie. It's not good, but, like, for, like, it's like a, futuristic, obviously, like, sci-fi movie about how, like, the Earth is fucking up, or the Earth is fucked, and we gotta fix things, so we gotta go into space, and then stuff happens. Oh no, like, shit goes awry. I don't know, man. After like last year when, like, what's that movie, Life, and then Alien Covenant, like all those kind of movies. It's just, God, oh God, I have to go back to work tomorrow. I'm gonna be like half a person. It's not that good, it's always like that kind of concept of we're in space. It's obviously we're a bunch of very, like, international people kind of stuff because, one, it's a movie in space. Two, well, let's just kind of, like, check off those boxes kind of thing. And then it's always like something goes awry. We gotta figure it out. Oh no, like everything is fine on the ship, and then they're like, oh man, you know what? Things on the ship are running smoothly because we're all working as a team. We all work as a team because things run smoothly, and everyone back at Earth needs us for things to run smoothly. And then things just start going awry, and then they start, they start, like, arguing, so they're not working as a team anymore, and then everybody fucking dies. It's like that whole thing. one thing that I really don't like when it comes to these type of, like, science fiction films is they'll have the Chinese character and she'll only speak Chinese the whole time. Like, this chick, she was speaking Mandarin the whole time. And other people, they were either responding to her in English or responding to her in Mandarin. But then they'll sometimes just go back to speaking English. Like, all these other people are from other places. There's, like, the Russian guy, you know? There's Daniel Bruhl as, obviously, the German guy. But she not once says, like, speaks English. And that's what kind of gets me when it comes to some of these science fiction films. Is, like, they always have to have the Asian character, whether... Well, it's always an East Asian character. So it's either of the Korean person, Chinese, or Japanese person. And they have them always speak that language. Other people, whether being, like, the American character, again, a German character, a Russian character, fucking British character... them responding to, and it's always a female character too, always responding to them in said language, but that character never breaks out of that. It's like, okay, so in the end, we all know we understand technically all these languages, it seems, but then this bitch never, like, for once, while she's mad, isn't like, blah, 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 like, bitch, you know what the fuck I was just saying? I don't know. Like, I grew up here in the States, in the hood, so that'd be me, so I obviously wouldn't be just straight up speaking Chinese the entire time. But I'm just saying, like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to science fiction films, is that they'll do that. Like, they'll just, you know, make, like, the lady Asian character just extra exotic, because you don't know what she's saying, so you have to read what she's saying, and she's so different. Like, that's actually one thing that, yeah. But anyway, so... the movie, you know, it's like, it's in the future, things are happening, whatever. And of course, okay, so it's called, fuck it, I just moved my mouse. So it's called the Cloverfield Paradox. So you know some weird stuff's gonna happen. But it's a movie about space. So when does weird stuff not happen in space movies, right? So at one point, like, you just start hearing, like, ah! Like, sound coming from the spaceship. And you're like, the fuck is that? You're like, is the xenomorph here? Like, what is going on, right? So then... they're like, I hear it from this panel right here. We have to remove this panel. And they're like, well, what if we remove it? And then it's like some shit. So they remove it. And a fucking woman is like entangled in all the fucking wiring and shit. And mind you, it doesn't just suddenly happen, of course. Like, a series of events happen. But anyway, it suddenly happens. So then, of course, that lady is, God, I always... it's like, I'm always like, oh man, she looks familiar, and then I always look her up on IMDb, and I go, oh right, it's her. She was in she was in the Gatsby movie, she was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., she was the main gold lady in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Anyway, she's like, if her and Gwendolyn Christie, if they were in a movie together, they could probably play sisters, you know, because they're both very tall and blonde and stuff, so... anyway, she's there, and of course she's like, get me out! Everyone's like, oh, okay, but, like, you've got, like, power wires running through you, bitch. We can't just cut this shit off. We need it, because we're in a spaceship. And then she, like, looks at the main girl, and she's, like, says her name. Everyone's like, how do you know your name? You know, whereas this is the part where, obviously, the audience is a little bit smarter than the people in the movie, because we know the movie's called The Paradox, so we immediately think to ourselves, like, okay, well... you probably, like, you already knew, like, okay, you probably jumped dimensions or universes or whatever thing, you know, possibilities, because in the blonde girl's, like, in her reality, the main black girl is not in it. She's down on Earth. She's not in the spaceship. And the reason why the black girl is in the spaceship is because, like, all her kids are dead except for her guy. Like, it's all this sad stuff. But, like, it's, like, different and all this stuff, and the girl is like, oh my god, like, are you, like, you know, the black girl's like, oh my god, like, my kids are actually alive in your universe, and she's like, yeah, and then I love how, like, the first person to turn on the crew is the Russian guy, and I'm like, really? Really, that's what we're going with? Like, a lot of these movies, that's always what happens, always, like, the Eastern European person and in this case, it's the Russian guy. And you're like, are you serious? And then, of course, then the Russian guy goes after the German guy and saying that you're with German intelligence. I'm like, don't. Just because Daniel Bruhl tends to play Nazis, don't make him a Nazi. And Daniel Bruhl, please stop playing Nazis. We know you're a fine German actor, but don't be that guy. You're a very good actor, please. You're in Marvel. You're You're in a Marvel movie. Like, come on, man. Don't be that guy. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, of course that happens. Of course shit goes awry, you know, like what was it? They can't seem to, like, when all the shit happened, like Earth goes missing. They're like, "Oh my god, Earth is missing." And they're like, "How can Earth go missing? Oh my god. Oh my god." Oh god. Yep. And oh man, so at one point, like, they go somewhere, this gesture. They think they got back to Earth, but then they look at, like, news footage, and the Cloverfield station actually crash landed into the water, and they're like, "Oh no, I don't think there's any survivors." And they're like, "Wait, this isn't our reality." Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, and the movie obviously was definitely losing me by then. I could see why people really, really hated this movie. Like, I didn't hate it. It just felt like just like any other, like, sci-fi movie. Mind you, it was shot beautifully. The sets looked really good. Like, the sets looked fucking good. Like, you know, they built all that shit. The special effects, like, all the wiring in that bitch's body. There's a part where they, like, the Russian guy's dead, and fucking, oh, fuck, what's Chris O'Dowd's in it? Oh my god, his arm just severs, and it's just like a fucking, like, on its own thing, and it just, like, says, like, oh, you have to open up the Russian guy's body, and that's where they find, like, their device thing that went missing. And, like, the effects on, like, the body when they open, like, they cut it, and they open it, and they pull the thing out, like, that stuff was really good. It's just, it was and you got really good actors in it, like, you know, like Chris O'Dowd, Daniel Bruhl's in it, the main chick who, played, what's her character's name, is Hamilton. You know, you've got these good actors in it. It's a very weak script, you know. It's like that same kind of story, that same kind of sci-fi thing, you know, as always. Anyway, you know, apparently, like, I like how the Chinese girl, we have the same name, which is cool. They're like, "Oh no, like the blonde girl's like, no, I run that shit. That chick isn't supposed to be here, and you're not supposed." There was a lot of shit happening. Whatever. Anywho, so anyway, at one point they go, "Oh wait, hold on, we were upside down this whole time." I don't know. We were upside down this whole time. Oh wait, no, look on the other side of the sun or some shit. And then it was like, "Oh hey, there's Earth. We found Earth." And it's like, oh my god, are you serious? Smack it, flip it, and reverse it, we found Earth? Like, oh my god. So, like, so then, of course, everyone's dead. And yet everyone's dead except for Daniel Bruhl and the black chick. And they're like, okay, we fixed everything. They've got signal back to everyone. They're like, we did it, we're coming back to Earth because there's really, like, well, the ship is so fucking damaged, like, and also Daniel Bruhl needs definite medical attention. It's like, we're coming back to Earth, you guys need to send a team up to fix this shit. And so then, like, I guess the NASA, let's just say NASA people, but the people get to the black chick's husband back on Earth, and he's like in a bunker kind of thing. You know, he's in like the he's in the John Goodman bunker, and he was like, "What? She's coming back? She can't. Does she know what's happening?" And I'm like, "Oh, here comes the Cloverfield ending. Like, this is where the entire movie you go, oh, this is where it's Cloverfield. Besides, again, the name of the ship." And that guy's sprouting off crazy stuff. He's, like, on the phone, like, no, like, why, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, you see, like, their little, like, capsule falling, and then it just kind of, like, you know, the camera goes with it, and it goes, and then, like, the camera stays, and you see it go down, and it's, like clouds, and it just dips down, and all of a sudden, it's a big monster! Big monster! That must have startled you! No. And then the movie ends. And the movie just ends. Really wasn't that good. You know? Like, it's on Netflix, so obviously if you want to, like, check it out. Like, go right ahead, you know. How long is it? I don't know. I just, like, quickly sat through it. Oh, God. Yeah, it's like, well, when I got to the credits, it was like a little bit over 90 minutes when I got to the credits. Yeah, so it's it's actually not that quick of like a sit because I had to stop it a couple times. Well, mainly to get food and to kind of like take a breather because I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm a little under the weather and I'm not figuring this out or something. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's Cloverfield Paradox. Um, it's like, you know, good on them for advertising it on the Super Bowl and then just releasing it right after. Like, alright, cool, Netflix, I guess do you. But Jesus Christ, they definitely blew their budget on that one. My God, man. Like, it really was not necessary. But yeah, it's like, again, I didn't see this in theaters. I can't even call this like a rental. This is a meh. You know, this is like, like, it's literally check it out if you want to, but really, you're not missing out. You know, because the first one was at least interesting. Like, I know my review of it was mostly me just shitting on, like, the locations in New York because I was just being an ass. The second one, I was like, yeah, it's alright, you know. But this one, I'm like, it's just, I don't know. Apparently, they want to do, like, more of these, of the Cloverfield series. I don't know. It's gonna turn into, like, fucking Saw and Nightmare and Friday the 13th shit. Like, it's gonna be, like, 20 movies deep. But anyway, yeah, so fucking Cloverfield Paradox. It's just, it was dumb, you know. Yeah.